Yeah, what's going on, guys? Seth Spartan here, nutrition, training, and hormone expert and Prometheus Pro bodybuilder with Prometheus HRT, the world's best testosterone and hormone replacement clinic. Use my code SPARTAN to save on either testosterone or HGH replacement therapy. Guys, today we're going to be talking about something very important. We're going to keep it a shorter video, but regardless, watch this to the end. I see the comments. There's a lot of people talking about steroids and other drugs, and this needs to be addressed. So this is the question, and then we're going to answer it. Here we go. The question is this: why I use TRT and not anabolic steroids? Why am I using TRT and not anabolic steroids? All right. So I've been doing doctor prescribed TRT, continually now for a little over a year or so. All right. Again, through Prometheus HRT, pharmaceutical grade, prescription grade, all that, right? So let's talk about first what I do, and then let's answer the big question, the core question, why I use TRT and not anabolic steroids, and why I am only going to do TRT or HRT and not anabolic steroids. You're going to want to hear this. Here we go. This is what I'm doing right now. Testosterone cypionate, 250 milligrams per week from the pharmacy, from Prometheus HRT, all right? Testosterone cypionate, 250 milligrams. That's what I'm doing for anabolics. And what about for HGH? I am doing CJC 1295 DAC with ipamorelin. It comes in one combination vial, and I'm doing pretty much on average 200 micrograms of each 5 to 7 times a week. All right, usually taking 2 days off per week or a day or two just to resensitize, because you have that a little bit of down regulation with ipamorelin. Go watch my ipamorelin unleashed video. So this is to bring test levels up, just to the very peak or slightly over. And this is to bring HGH levels up right to the peak, slightly over. Again, think, an 18-year-old with good genetics. This keeps me, Supermaned out, all right? So anyways, having said all that, let's move on into the core of this question, and then the video's over. Question: why I am doing, or why I do TRT instead of anabolic steroids. Here we go. Comes down to one thing, guys. And pretty much, honestly, one thing only. Ready for this? Here it is. Heart. It all comes down to the heart. And, not just for me, guys, but why should every person, whether bodybuilding, fitness, athletics, why should you, if you want the performance boost, if you want the performance gain, if you want to be big, jack, strong, you want all the benefits with none of the cons, why should you do TRT or HRT over anabolic steroids? It all comes down to the heart. Granted, you're not going to get as crazy, big, strong, or jacked, or shredded for that matter, but you're still going to get a ton of gain and benefit. And the nice thing is you can do it long term, all right, with none of the cons. So let's go back to the heart. This is why. This is the big why to answer you guys' questions. The heart. I don't need to tell you guys this because you guys already know this. There has been, in the last couple of years, a tremendous, outrageous, terrible amount of bodybuilders dying. And, athletes for that matter. And just, people in the fitness industry. Why? It's always, 9 times out of 10, it's the heart. It's always the heart. All right? Why? Let's start out with TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Let's say you're doing testosterone replacement. 200 milligrams, 250, 150, whatever. I just not too long ago, within, the last couple months, I was at the cardiologist, and he told me this, all right? He told me, basically, without a shadow of doubt, if you go on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, right? Just regular TRT, you're going to increase plaque buildup a little bit. That's just proven, all right? So basically what he told me word for word is that you increase plaque buildup in your arteries a little bit when going on TRT, all right? So you get a little bit of risk with TRT. That's just how it is, all right? However, when you go on anabolic steroids and you crank up, you go from 200, 250, you say, I'm going to do 1,000 of, or whatever. You guys get the idea. What happens to the heart? The biggest and the worst side effect with, anabolic steroids, and also, you have a slight bump with TRT. But what's the problem? What's the big problem? What's the killer problem? Plaque buildup in the arteries. You go on TRT, you increase plaque a little bit. Proven. You can talk to. I challenge you. Go to a cardiologist and try and find a cardiologist. Find me one cardiologist that will tell you, no, testosterone replacement therapy does not increase plaque buildup at all. I'll wait. I will wait, all right? You're not gonna find one. You're not gonna find one worth its salt that's gonna tell you otherwise. So with high dose testosterone or anabolic steroids, what's gonna happen? You're gonna fill your arteries up full of plaque. And people wanna deny this and say it doesn't happen. And if you want to believe the tooth fairy is real and Santa Claus is real, that's fine too. But I'm just telling you how it is. We have enough medical research on anabolic steroids, plenty, to confirm that anabolic steroid use, both how much is used and time on, directly equals how much plaque you build up, excluding genetics and everything else. So here's the big problem. So why do I use TRT and not anabolic steroids? It comes right down to the heart, and specifically plaque buildup in the arteries. Most of the time, this is what kills bodybuilders, and this is what has been killing bodybuilders, over and over and over. And, with COVID has been shown to attack the heart directly. So this is why I believe we've been seeing the bodybuilding community hit so hard. Unfortunately, I'm just spitting truth. All right. If you guys don't want to watch this, don't watch this, but I'm going to tell it how it is. And if you don't like it, leave my channel. All right. I just don't care anymore. I just really don't care. I'm going to say it how it is. And hopefully people drill it into their heads and say, man, it would be a little bit better to be, a little bit, you can still get big, jacked and strong, but it's going to be better to be a little bit smaller and not look as freaky than to die early. Okay, it's just not worth it. All right, it's just not worth it. The second big problem, I talk about this in my videos, it's still the heart, but going down a different avenue. One other problem, you don't really see this with TRT, so don't worry about it with TRT or HRT. But what you do see with anabolic steroids, misuse or abuse, and guys, there's a lot of anabolic steroids that can be used safely short term. Again, if you go to Prometheus HRT and you qualify, you can use Anadrol, Anavar, Dianabol even. I think that, yeah. So the thing is that, you can do this stuff and you can use this under doctor's supervision with a prescription as long as you're healthy, right? But there's a lot of anabolic steroids that can be used short term safely. This is half the reason we have so many anabolic steroids, created are for medical purposes. So, short term, great. But the thing is, guys, is that with anabolic steroid misuse or abuse, not done under doctor supervision, what do we have? Heart wall thickening. 500 milligrams of test, 750, 1,000. You go up, or whatever total dosage of anabolic steroids. We're talking heart wall thickening as an addition, as an add-on to the plaque buildup you're causing. What is heart wall thickening? I explained this in my other videos. Basically, the heart muscle is a cardiac muscle. You take anabolic steroids, your muscles grow, everything hypertrophies, right? You increase skeletal muscle size, but guess what? The heart's also a muscle. It's a cardiac muscle, and it's filled with androgen receptor sites, the same as skeletal muscle. So what happens is that this binds to the heart tissue, and the heart tissue then gets bigger, stronger, gets big, all right? It hypertrophies as well. Now, you would think this is a good thing, and to a small amount, maybe it is. We could argue that. But the problem is that when the heart gets too thick, when the heart gets jacked, all right, that's probably the best terminology, honestly. When the heart gets jacked, gets very muscular, what happens? That heart wall is thicker. A thicker heart wall means that you cannot, that chamber, that left chamber cannot expand out as much to eject the blood out. So what am I saying? Basically, for lack of a better term, the range of motion of the heart, the ejection chamber, the left ventricle chamber, can't push as much blood out. What does that mean? You have a bigger, stronger heart, but the problem is this, is that you can't push out as much blood every beat. Your heart has to do what? Work harder and, do more beats per minute to deliver the same amount of blood. So this can be a big issue, but most of this, about half of this goes away after you stop with the abuse or misuse. We have studies on this too, proving this. So, but in the heart wall thickening can be deadly in combination with the plaque buildup. But what the reason I use TRT and not anabolic steroids is the heart, and mostly it's because of the plaque buildup in the arteries and obviously a little bit of the heart wall thickening. That's the answer to this question, guys. So hopefully, I bet you guys, I know most people on this channel or on bodybuilding channels would love to see me say, okay, guys, tomorrow we're going to do 3,000 milligrams of testosterone. I am going to have veins ripping out my arm. My neck is going to be thick as thick. I'm going to be a monster. I'm going to be squatting like, I'm going to look crazy, all right? And people would love that. Oh, people would love that. Everybody wants to see that, all right? But here's the problem is that it's not worth it. I wish I knew all the medical research. I wish I had all of this stuff, a long time ago so I could share this to you guys. Because I didn't, honestly, I've been told by a doctor before that, anabolic steroids aren't that bad used correctly at whatever dose. And I guess he's actually pretty right about that. But the thing is that, in the medical community and in the bodybuilding, fitness, athletic world, they do not talk about the worst and unavoidable effects of anabolic steroid misuse or abuse. I'm talking about anything over a TRT. What are we talking about? Well, even with the TRT, we have slight plaque buildup. We're talking about, the high, plaque buildup in the arteries, completely dependent to time on and also duration. And we talked about the heart wall thickening already. So really, guys, that's the big answer. Would everybody love to see me do 3,000 milligrams of test and look like a monster? I don't think there's probably anybody who wouldn't like to watch that. But the bottom line is that it's not worth endangering your health. You only have one body. God only gave you one body. Use it the best you can. Make the best choices. Go through your doctor. Do things. Testosterone replacement used to be, guys. Pretty bad medicine when it started out, but now there are a lot, and by a lot I mean there are a lot of clinics and a lot of doctors who really know what they're doing, and that Prometheus HRT is just one clinic, like that. That's why I'm with them. So you want go to Prometheus. You can do the same thing I'm doing: 250 milligrams of testosterone cypionate, 250 milligrams a week. CJC 1295 DAC with ipamorelin combo, 200 micrograms, of each, 5 to 7 times a week. You can do the same thing I'm doing as long as you're healthy and you qualify. Not a big deal. Guys, Seth Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy. Hopefully I answered your question and we are out of here.